Hi everyone, I hope you guys are having a great first week of class. I just wanted to take a minute or two to share with you two documents that we will be using throughout the semester. One is Foundational Communication Principles and the other one is about Communication Ethics. And the information contained in both of these documents will be referenced in all of our major assignments. So the Foundational Communication Principles are assumptions that we make about the communication process. And they're very important for you to understand because they form the basis of what we know about communication. So let's talk about each of these in a little bit of detail. The first is that communication is complex. And truly there's no such thing as an easy or simple symbolic exchange between communicators. We're going to talk about how communication is symbolic. It's all based on symbolism. And nothing has meaning until we give it meaning. And this makes communication very complicated. The second is that communication is simultaneous. It's a constant exchange. Models that you may have seen before show a sender and a receiver, but really we're all sending and receiving messages at the same time. So it's a continuous, simultaneous process, and it's inevitable, as number 3 says. You cannot not communicate. You are always communicating. Even when you are silent towards someone, you are still sending a symbolic message. And so this comes back to the idea that communication is symbolic. Everything we do, the things we say, the things that we don't say, the nonverbal gestures, the clothes that we wear, the artifacts that we have with us, they all communicate something. So you can't not communicate. You may think you're avoiding communication, but even your silence or avoidance sends a message. Also, we have to remember that communication is irreversible. It cannot be reversed. Once a message has been delivered and is interpreted, that interpretation becomes part of that person's cognitive history, so they don't forget it. You can't take it back. We say, can I take that back? Can I apologize? You can do all of those things, but that message has already been interpreted and is just part of the relationship that you have with that person now. So it is irreversible. Can we change things going forward? Absolutely, but we can't change the communication that's already taken place. I've mentioned this, the verbal and nonverbal messages. So communication takes place at both a verbal and nonverbal level. Our vocal or our verbal are the words that we say, the tone of voice, the pitch, and then the nonverbal are the pauses and the silence, the hand gestures, things of that nature. I've also touched on this already too, but the meaning of messages is influenced by interpretation. So as communicators, we generate meaning, and that meaning is unique. It's based on your life experiences, your perceptions, all of those things that make you who you are determine how you interpret a message. And we don't always have the same interpretation, so that's where miscommunication occurs. So we're going to be spending a lot of time talking about how we can avoid this miscommunication and how we can seek to have shared meaning and interpret things not probably in the exact same way, but in a way that makes sense and helps the relationship. Messages are adapted in different ways to achieve similar results. There are so many different ways that we can communicate. If you've ever had to communicate with someone and you've had to maybe tell them a difficult message or something like that, and you try to talk about it and it doesn't work, you try again, but maybe you try a different way. Maybe you try a different approach. So you can try different ways of communication to achieve the result that you want. You may not always get there in the same way every time. Messages reveal and impact the nature of the relationship between communicators. So messages determine how we see our relationship with other people. Oftentimes, as it says here, that the message that may seem to have nothing to do with the relationship actually tells us more about it. So you can think about things that you talk about with your friends, and can you share the same information you share with your friends with your parents? Well, sometimes, but there are certain things you probably talk to your friends about that you don't talk to your parents about. And so that just reveals the type of relationship that you have with that person. In your job, you may not communicate with your boss in the same way you communicate with your coworkers. And it's just very telling about that relationship. And then finally, communication behaviors are learnable. we can learn different ways to communicate. And that's why we have courses such as this, the survey course, where you're going to learn about many different ways to communicate. Now let's take a look at our ethical implications. The ethical implications that we will be studying this semester are trustworthiness, integrity, concern for the community, fairness, respect, responsibility, restraint, and also caring with grace. So as we talk about, for example, our first major assignment is on positive communication, you'll identify someone who's a positive communicator and apply these ethical implications to that person. When you write about your interpersonal relationship, you will look at it from an ethical perspective, and these are the ethical implications that we will use. I know that there are many different ways to look at ethics, and your perception of what ethical communication is may include things that aren't on this list, and that's fine too. But for the nature of this course, and when we look at including these in our major assignments, these are the ethical implications that we will use. So I think probably a good idea is to maybe print these 2 pages or copy and paste them into a different document and have them readily available, because as you'll see pretty soon, you will be referencing these 2 pages in all of your assignments for this class. So if you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'll be doing more presentations about this. We'll look at videos and other examples as well. This is just your introduction into our communication principles and also our ethical implications.